Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with a wrestling recap for you today, and we're going to be talking about Takeover 30, which aired last night, or happened last night, live from the Full Sail Arena here in sunny, beautiful Paradise, Florida. But then again, every major wrestling show over the last 6 months has taken place here in Florida, and with no audience. I was going to shoot this late last night after the show, but yesterday was my daughter's birthday, and between the birthday party, watching this, or our small birthday party, don't tell the fuzz. But between our birthday party, watching the show, and being contractually obligated to watch the new Batman trailer about 36,000 times, I was just too tired at the end of the whole thing. So let's just get into it here. The opening match is a bit of a grudge match between Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher. This rivalry kind of got heated during the whole North American title tournament over the last month after Keith Lee had to drop the belt. And also, I might be wrong, I believe this is Timothy Thatcher's first takeover, so good for him. This was my favorite match of the night, to be honest with you. I love the style of this match. It was very tight, very cinched in, really intense, hard hitting. Every single move this match felt like a fight and a struggle. I mean, like, you had to beat the guy down and force him into just a hammer lock at moments. It was really tight, very European style, hard hitting, strong style fucking match. I really love this match a lot. The finish comes from, eventually, if you let Finn Balor get too far away or too close, he's going to start dropping them stomps on your ass. So he hits the coup de grace on Timothy Thatcher. Then he hits his 1917, whatever he's calling it. And Finn Balor picks up a very hard-fought takeover victory. Good for him. Next up is the Fatal 5-Way ladder match to determine the vacant North American Heavyweight Championship. We have former champions Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Takeover, the Velveteen Dream, Cameron Grimes, Bronson Reed, and Damian Priest. I really like this match a lot too. It takes a while for them to start using the ladders proper for the big falls. They go for a lot of other different spots before they get to that. A great series of spots in this. There's a great Tower of Doom at one point that looked like I thought Cameron Grimes was just killed. And because like all five guys except Johnny Gargano in it. So Cameron Grimes was the only like smaller guy with these other three huge men falling on top of him. There's a great spot where each guy, they start piling the guys up into the corner. There's Dream, ladder. Johnny, a ladder. And Priest, a ladder. And then, each guy and a ladder in front of him. And then Bronson Reed splashes all of it. It was great. Bronson Reed hits a fucking suicide dive. That was insane. And then Damian Priest hits a suicide dive, running up a ladder to the outside like Shelton Benjamin or some shit. There's just a disgusting Johnny Gargano does a sunset flip off the ladder, dropping Grimes onto an elevated ladder. There's a rolling Death Valley driver onto a guy on a ladder with another guy on the shoulders that the Dream does. It's insane. And, oh my god, Velveteen Dream gets dumped off the ladder, over the top rope, to the barricade, to like the fucking catering table or some shit. It was crazy. If there would have been a crowd there, he would have landed in the third row. That was a ballsy spot. Finish comes where it really looks like everybody's almost close to the ladder, about to get the title. Everybody gets really close to getting the belt, one after the other. It comes down to Priest and Gargano. Each man got unbuckled. Each guy got one half of the title. Tug of war back and forth. Eventually Johnny loses his grip. Priest grabs it, and Damian Priest is the undisputed North American Heavyweight Champion. He's been chasing that belt for a while, and I don't know, I was kind of rooting for Cameron Grimes. Speaking of Grimes, I can never remember what his name was in TNA. It was so white bread. Cameron Grimes sounds like a sleaze. Fits him better. But he finally did that. Ever since he got to WWE. Maybe he's done it, but I've not caught it once. That great running body-to-body backflip he does. That's an awesome move. But did that with Johnny Gargano last night, and they did it on the floor. Next up is a bit of a special attraction match. Adam Cole, bye-bye, taking on Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee doesn't even really work for WWE. He's not a pro wrestler. He's a wrestling podcaster. But I guess he was an athlete or something. Uh, this is like Bobby Heenan versus Shawn Michaels, or when Hogan fought Leno, which you can watch what I had to think about that match at my Road Wild coverage. Um, the I love the build for this. As first they tried to tease that it was a shoot, and then they build up to a match. And I like how, unlike most times, like say Mr. T or Jay Leno or Lawrence Taylor, the outsider taking on the wrestler is almost always the babyface. But Pat McAfee not playing that with this. Straight heel. But in honesty, I was really disappointed in this match. I mean, not in like the athletics. That's the thing. Pat McAfee really showed off that he is an athlete. Some great stuff he does in this. He does a dive off the top rope to the floor onto Undisputed Era and his security team. He does this great nip up where he lands right on his feet. He jumps right to the top rope in one leap and does a beautiful superplex. But this was my problem with it. Adam Cole just finished a year-long, more than a year-long title reign, and in his first high-profile match since losing it, you're going to have a non-wrestler take him to the limit. I just think Cole gave Pat too much in this. They could have had a good match, was showing off how Pat, how athletic and how much heart he has without having Adam Cole even close to getting beat. I didn't like it. I didn't like Adam Cole being on the ropes for as much as he was. You know, it should have been more of a one-sided beating. Just show that how much Pat McAfee, like I said, how much heart he has. But yeah, I thought it was a foolish way to play it. Not that it was a bad match. I just didn't like it. Up next was the Women's Championship match. Io Shirai defending against Dakota Kai with Raquel Gonzalez. Was it Gonzalez or Garcia? Let's say Raquel in her corner. A long build for Dakota Kai to finally get this title shot. Ever since she turned heel, she had that long, great feud with Tegan Knox. And now she got a shock victory over Rhea Ripley. She's number one contender. Io Shirai, over the last year, has been like my favorite thing in WWE. To tell you the truth, ever since I think it was a year ago at this show, I think it was the takeover before SummerSlam last year, where she debuted her new look and attitude and really started to stand out from the rest of the Joshis, and as far as I'm concerned. And I still say her moonsault is dangerous and wish she would use a different finisher. If you cannot be sure that you will safely hit a move every time you do it, it shouldn't be your go-to finish. That's just my opinion. But I liked this match. This is probably my second favorite match of the night. I liked how the story of it was Dakota Kai had Raquel there for backup. It was competitive. She gave Io Shirai her everything in this. And it wasn't until, it was exhaustive. He was kicking out of everything. Every move she does. The same finisher she hit Rhea Ripley with a few weeks ago to win the title shot. Io kicks out. The referees get stuck in the corner. Ultimately tease a ref bump, and then they get a hell of a ref bump. Dakota Kai about kicks his damn ear off. Raquel hits the ring. It's a nasty pump handle slam on Io. Wakes up the ref. Io kicks out again. Io's able to fight back, hit her moonsault, and retain the women's championship. After the match, Rhea Ripley comes down. Long stare down between her and Raquel. They never come to blows. And then the heels leave, and Rhea leaves to let Io bask in her glory. I didn't like the post-match kind of felt Rhea Ripley coming down to just stare down with Raquel could have been done on, any other show. It kind of distracted and stole the thunder from the two women who just had a terrific match. But, that's all I had to say about that. And main event time. Keith Lee defending the NXT World title against Karrion Kross. Now, if you saw my takeover video for Takeover Portland, I went into the history of Black World Champions, not all African Americans, so history of Black World Champions in pro wrestling, and I mentioned that WWE has crowned, now with Keith Lee, 8 black men as world champion and 8 black women as world champion. However, I didn't point out in that video, they do recognize Ron Simmons as a decorated world heavyweight champion. However, they do not recognize Bobo Brazil. I'm not even sure if his title reign even is recognized in history books by the WWE at all. Anyhow, but they don't recognize Bobo Brazil, Jay Lethal, or R-Truth. Those men were world champion as well. Anyhow, see, this match pissed me off. Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett Bordeaux in his corner. Because my wife doesn't get to watch wrestling with me anymore. She used to watch all the time. She owns her own business. And after everything was over, she actually sat down and we were going to watch the main event last night together. And I was just hyping up Keith Lee, man. The matches he had with Dominik Dijakovic and Roman Reigns, and that scuffle in the Royal Rumble with Brock Lesnar, just so impressive. And that match with Dijakovic in Portland was my favorite match of 2020. I was so stoked for this match, man. You've never seen a man this size move the way he does. You're in for a treat. And then the match happened. Holy shit. I mean, it made me feel like an asshole. It was slow, plodding, just, weak-looking suplexes and long rest holds. I think Keith Lee lost with a boring, lazy sideplex off the second rope. I thought my kids around harder than that. They beat Keith Lee with his shit. I mean, so Karrion Kross beats Keith Lee fucking clean and is now the new world champion, ending Keith's world title reign at, I think, less than 50 days. Fuck. It was heartbreaking. It pissed me off so much, man. And, it was a shitty match. And I basically had to apologize to my wife for it. But yeah, the main event and Adam Cole getting beat up, it really kind of soured most of the TakeOver for me. It's the first TakeOver I'm going to have to give a failing grade to, man. Give it a C. Because I think it was dragged down by the main event and some foolish booking. And, yeah, man, I was really disappointed in this TakeOver. This is also the first TakeOver I've ever seen that didn't have a Match of the Year candidate. You know what I mean? Anyhow, I went this whole video without turning my light on. There it is. Anyhow, I hope y'all like this video. If I have time today, I'll probably try to shoot another one later on. Anyhow, I'm going to go watch this Batman trailer a couple more 100 times. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.